Hello, Stacy Drake here. This is my video on how they're just trying to ruin the middle of the island, as stated in that Pine Power video from the past year. He's made a lot of videos about this, and showing drawing a red circle around the center of the island and what's going to be of that area. It's gonna be a bad place to live with these corporate officials trying to favor a demographic like the people on the Babylon branch, provide them better service, and then even some places on the North Shore, but not Glen Cove. That area is just in the middle of nowhere. But favoring the South Shore on the western Montauk, and the Babylon branch, and the Long Beach, Far Rockaway branches. It's just sick. So what we need to do is get people like the people in Westchester to treat people the way they do in Westchester and equal. We need to expand Able Ride, get more transit vans on Long Island, because on Long Island they just have 8, and they're partially used for a route. We need to get the N22 and N41 too, if I'm getting that route right, to run all night, because people need service from Freeport to Mineola and from Jamaica to Hicksville. This is just, right now it's just hopeless with these officials in office. Now, I disagree with John about some things, like putting these officials in jail. I think nobody belongs in jail. I think this democratic movement against jail is a good thing. And these homeless people should be just found homes instead of being punished for just being homeless. So people like Fernando F. or Andrew Cuomo, they just can't be running this. It's a good thing we got rid of Edmund Gano, but we put him in jail, which I think is wrong. So yeah, Edmund Gano, he's currently gone. We don't have Patrick Nowakowski or Elisa Pica, but we have a good president of the Long Island Railroad. So everything's still bad. They're not running any shuttle buses between Mineola and Hicksville. No. Between Floral Park and Hicksville, or New Hyde Park and Hicksville, because of a demographic. They really want to have taxis ride up their revenue by charging $40 to $50, maybe even $60 on people who need to get home from the Babylon branch. Yeah. And then the Babylon branch also has only 2 tracks, so running extra trains to get to Hicksville via the Central branch, it's just still going to crowd their trackage too. On the Babylon branch. I'm going to try not to say things I don't know, but I've seen all the trash in John's videos. In parks in Hicksville, and then there's the broken platforms at Mineola, and then there's just a lot of trouble going on in the middle of the island. Luckily, Floral Park isn't doing too bad. It's going good. But the problems in Long Island might spread to Floral Park, or even Queens Village. Probably then east into the place where they don't have trains, like Plainview or Melville. I think they should have built a rail line at least to Melville. But this is just not going to be tolerated. I'd recommend for people on Long Island that Westchester is a good place to live. If you can move there and are okay with the environment in Westchester, do it. Because you're not going to have fun on Long Island. if you're the minority. I'm doing great in Westchester. So, bye. Hello. This is going to be like an update on like problems that have happened over the past year on the Long Island Railroad. Basically, Long Island news. They're trying to price the lower and middle class out of Long Island, like the people who run the state. But that's just not tolerable. So I'm going to tell you how I would run the Long Island Railroad first, and then go over how this like act to price people out is going. Yeah. So, first off, when they need to shut down the main line between New Hyde Park and Skidsville, I would provide buses from Jamaica to Hicksville that would stop Mineola and Hicksville, and then others that would make all stops from Floral Park to Hicksville. This time I would include Floral Park because of the train service that needed there, and then half-hourly service would go to Hempstead from Atlantic. The problem with like Atlantic terminals, it doesn't have as many tracks as Penn Station, and believe me, Penn Station has trouble too, but Atlantic just needs longer platforms. That's the reason why Hempstead trains are often short. So, and then there's that Z train, which I think technically is an S train with the letter Z being the sharp points on it. Go from Penn Station to Ronkonkoma. They should really convert some of those straight diesel locomotives to dual mode, instead of like doing what they did with one of them and converting it back to diesel only. They really need more dual modes so they can go to Penn Station. I understand there's not much space in Penn Station, but that's going to improve soon with 8 more tracks. So, yes, there should be shuttle buses when they shut down the main line, and then there should be service all the way to Mineola on the Oyster Bay branch, and not just to East Williston, because Mineola is definitely going to have available trackage. They should also open a train station after the third track project is done at Newcastle, and have the Huntington trains stop at all 10 of the stops on the main line between New Hyde Park and Huntington. And they should run half-hourly. Ronkonkoma branch should have every other train running half-hourly. Stop at Mineola. You know, at least Mineola and Hicksville aren't doing as bad. Here's another name I came up with for a town. It's called Hempstead, like just south of Garden City. Yeah, there's lots of trouble happening in Hempstead. But the Babylon branch, except for Freeport, is doing very well. But Freeport does get a lot of good transportation better than the rest of the branch. They get those expresses, the Jamaica Freeport Babylon trains. These people on the Babylon branch, although I'm not going to say anything more about them because I don't know about them that much as Pine Power does. But one thing I do know is the similarity about like them and the people from Irvington Bosse's. The mainstream people at Irvington Bosse's trying to get rid of the special ed population there, which I'll do another video on at Irvington Bosse's. Like they're trying to make special ed students have to use the Tappan Zee or Mario Cuomo Bridge in order to get to Riverview High School. Mom, will you not interrupt? I'm making a video. Sorry about that. I'm just making a long video about how I would run the Long Island Railroad. Needs to be improved, like Metro North is. Believe me, Metro North's Haven line used to be terrible with those M2s. Older infrastructure. and now they're doing great with those new M8s. If they just bring those M9s in to replace the M3s, which they stopped doing because they just don't want to introduce them until e-sign access happens, it's some sort of quirk. So, just please, and we need more service on to Spionk and Port Jefferson. We need permanent service from Babylon along the main line. We need that type of service, maybe not half-hourly, but more like hourly on those lines. And I think the Port Jefferson train should go to Long Island City or Penn Station at all hours, and same with the Montauk trains and the Oyster Bay trains. We need to electrify the Port Jeff and Central branches, though. And I think as an alternative, so you won't have to run as much of a Z train, extending the Central branch from Garden City to Bethpage would be a good idea. Therefore, you can run trains to Ronkonkoma. And then electrifying it, of course. I think that's a great idea. Whenever, and I think most of the branches should get half-hourly service. But maybe the West Hempstead branch should get a lot more service too, because the MTA just hates them. I don't know why they hate the West Hempstead branch. See, those are some considerations. Now, the video is already at 6:30, so I'm going to shut it off so it doesn't take forever to upload, and then upload a new video on how Long Island discriminates in these political, like, corporate Democrats and Republicans. Bye.